is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, it doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, it's so true, so true, so true. It does not matter who the host is. Anyways, here we go. Today is Monday, April the 18th of 2022, day 108th of the year, and only 257 days left to go. Anyways, I hope everything is good and grand inside of your neck of the woods. Anyways, how are you? How was your weekend? Did you enjoy your time? Did you do anything fun? Did you do anything braggalicious? Did you stay up late last night watching the Batman? You know, all the fun stuff that you should probably ask first thing on, the day after. So, anyways, we are broadcasting live from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM. And then we are hanging out with our friends and colleagues at that other place.
You're being infiltrated. Radio Big.
Okay, there you go. Some infiltration coming across on radiobig.fm as they are doing their stuff over there. So there you go. Anyway, so let's start talking right away about the things that are happening, the things that were going on, the things that were occurring over the weekend and all that kind of fun stuff. So let's start talking about what was trending, not trending, moving, grooving, and everything along those lines. So as of Saturday, let's talk about the trends there. Saturday was National Eggs Benedict Day. Also, Shania Twain was trending early Saturday after she performed alongside Harry Styles at Coachella on Friday night. Sunday was National Cheese Ball Day. We are Bulletproof landed on Twitter's top 10 as trends after K-pop band BTS announced the release of their next studio album. We are Bulletproof? Is that what it is? I'm sure that there's people that already know that answer. And then Happy Easter, Jesus is Risen, and Resurrection Day was trending Sunday in honor of the Christian holiday. Also on Sunday was many of Twitter's debated about peeps are delicious and disgusting. The reviews were mixed. So what do you think? Are they delicious? Or are they deliciously disgusting? Because I am not sure on how to answer that equation. I'm not a huge fan, but I do have family members that love them. Yes, love them as if they were the greatest thing on the planet. And I just don't believe that is the case, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, so it is Monday. As you are aware, we do talk about what is going on inside of the world. We talk about the things that are going on in the theaters as we do start talking on Monday. So let's take it right away. Let's talk about the box office. At number 10 was Uncharted with $1.1 million. At number 9 was KGF. With $2.8 million. At number 8, The Batman, $3.8 million. At number 7, Ambulance with $4 million. At 6, Morbius at $4.7 million. At number 5, Father Stew, $5.7 million. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, $6.7 million. The Lost City, $6.5 million. Sonic the Hedgehog was at $30 million, and that's Sonic the Hedgehog 2, just in case. And then last but not least, coming in the number 1 spot, Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, at $43 million. That was new inside of the boxy there, just in case if you were wondering what was going on. So there you go. That is the keen and the slee of stuff that is happening. So there you go. Just a whole plethora of things if you were looking right there. So there you go. So here, if you are new to our little shindig here, let me tell you or explain to you a little bit on how it does work out. It kind of goes something similar to this. We talk about safety in the news and safety, and then we kind of give you a whole a whole roundabout of what's going on inside of the world. We bring in some professional broadcasters. They talk about what is going on. And then I kind of come in and do my my little tie-up here of what I think, agree, disagree, love, hate, and all that kind of fun stuff, so you don't have to worry too much on if you're going to get my opinion, because that opinion is always located. If you do want to call in, you can do so by going into callinradio.com. And I say call in, and I should probably use that a little bit lighter than that. It does have the options of messaging, video messaging, and audio messaging. I normally like to tend to read a lot of messaging and tend to stay away from the others. So just so you know, that is readily available for you if you're so inclined to doing so. So that's callinradio.com. So just in case. Anyway, so I guess it's time to get moving and grooving, and let's talk about what is going on inside of the world of the news.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Philadelphia's mask mandate returns today. The city is restarting the requirement because COVID cases are up 50% over the past 2 weeks. Ukraine isn't willing to stand down to end the war in Russia. President Vladimir Zelensky insists he won't give up territory in the eastern part of the country where troops are about to start new attacks. He claims Russians want to destroy the Donbas region. The House Minority Leader is calling on the Biden administration to send more weapons to Ukraine.
What we need to do is learn from here, provide the weapons to Ukraine, but also look to the future of what China is doing.
Appearing on Fox News Sunday, Representative Kevin McCarthy stressed the importance of letting democracies defend themselves. This call comes after President Biden allotted nearly $800 million in additional military and security aid to Ukraine. Your time has run out to make things right with Uncle Sam. Natalie Rodriguez reports.
The federal tax filing deadline is here. This applies for most people unless they fall under any of the government's exemptions. What do you need to know? Alejandra Castro is with the IRS in Miami and explains.
Please, 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 more than ever, file electronically. Do not send a paper return if you can avoid it. Choose direct deposit and make sure that all the information in your tax return is accurate.
Castro says if you opt for an extension and owe Uncle Sam, you still have to pay or make payment arrangements by 11:59 tonight. You can do it all at irs.gov for free. Natalie Rodriguez, Miami.
A man accused in connection with a shooting at a South Carolina mall over the weekend is now on house arrest. He was granted bond yesterday and required to wear an ankle monitor. 9 people were shot. 5 others were hurt. The suspect is due back in court in June. And after falling just about every day for more than 2 weeks, gas prices are ticking back up. AAA finds a national average is up a penny today to $4.08 a gallon. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Bringing you information you never knew you cared about. Rated R Safety Show.
For Feature Story News in Beijing, I'm Patrick Falk. Ukrainian soldiers have rejected a Russian ultimatum to lay down arms in the port of Mariupol and say that the city has not fallen. China's economy grew a forecast beating 4.8% in the first quarter, but economists warn the risks of a recession are rising. And police in Delhi have arrested at least 21 men in relation to the riots that broke out during a religious procession over the weekend. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
A search is underway after a cruise ship passenger went overboard off the coast of Florida. The Coast Guard says Carnival Cruise Line's Mardi Gras ship was about 60 miles off Port Canaveral on Saturday morning when a 43-year-old man jumped into the ocean. The ship docked at the port later that morning and left again on another trip. The White House Easter egg roll is back. Trey Thomas with more.
Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail.
After 2 years of virtual celebrations, the White House will host children again on the grounds today for the holiday tradition, which dates back to 1878. The Bidens will be joined by celebrities including Jimmy Fallon, Sierra, and Kristen Chenoweth.
Coachella Week 1 is a wrap. A duet by Harry Styles and Shania Twain, as well as Justin Bieber's not-so-surprising appearance, were among the first night's highlights. The weekend closed things out as the headliner Sunday, with Doja Cat taking the stage just before him. Week 2 of the festival kicks off again on Friday. All Coachella performances are being live-streamed on YouTube at its desktop link or mobile app. Singer-songwriter Dave Matthews is sharing a new song in support of refugees.
When they think about it, something to tell my baby.
Appearing on CNN's State of the Union, Matthews said the song was his way of raising awareness for refugee crises going on around the world. That includes the millions displaced as a result of Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine. Matthews performed Something to Tell My Baby as a reminder that there are many places around the world where people are simply trying to survive, and violence is not allowing them to do that. He ended the performance by asking viewers to do whatever they could to help. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
Oh, there you go. Some self-imploding going on the Rated R Safety Show. That's always some fun times. Anyways, it is currently 16 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Monday, doing the things that we get to do together. So let's get into it. Let's start talking right away about all the stuff that is going on inside of this lovely joint of ours. So let's take it because we've been talking about this now for what it seems like a few days, and it's been, we vanished over the weekend. Now we're back. So let's talk about this relatively quick. So did you hear about this? Do you know what is going on? Did you know about the poison pill? If not, let's talk about it. On Friday afternoon, Twitter board adopted the poison pill strategy to keep Elon Musk's takeover at bay, a move that would dilute all shareholders' value but keep Musk from buying control of the company. Worth noting, excluding the founder, Jack Dorsey, Twitter board of directors collectively owns less than 1% of the company. And for what it's worth, Dorsey owns about 2.2% of the company. As one Twitter account points out, they have threatened to dilute their shareholder stake of the company, and that it's almost that like they are acting like the best interest of their careers instead of the financial interest of the stakeholders, which is the board's legal responsibility. By the way, Dorsey doesn't sound too thrilled about the board decision, even though they said that the move was unanimous. In a tweet, Dorsey said that the board has consistently been the dysfunction of the company. When asked by another user if he's allowed to disparage the board, he replied simply no. Worth remembering, Mark Zuckerberg spent tens of millions of dollars to get out the vote efforts in 2020. Listen to me, in 2020, and that were merely disappropriately allocated to the high Democratic turnarounds, sometimes a factor of 9-1. The public information, but Musk wants to throw his billions around to bolster free speech, and then he has painted the thread to what people think that democracy would look like. So I don't know. So it is interesting to take a listen to this, or to actually take a gander real quick and come to the realization that the poison pill strategy is being used because of the potential, we'll call it a threat, of the potential threat of changing some things up inside of the Twitterverse, inside of what's going on there. I mean, I don't know. Is it really worth that much to sit there and go, we don't want to play. We don't want to play the game because of what Musk might bring to the table? I mean, I don't know. Just some stuff to talk about. Anyway, students and faculty attending the New York University Shanghai campus, yeah, I did say that, report drastic food shortages amid an ongoing total lockdown there. One professor reportedly receiving only a third food shipment in 20 days, which itself was pretty light and included 3 eggplants, 4 potatoes, 6 onions, 3 cabbages, and a head of lettuce, according to the Post. He added that this is what relatively bountiful food provision. Meanwhile, in Norway, in the 2 months since Norway scrapped all of its COVID mitigation efforts, the 7-day infection rate is down by 97%, and that's what we have going on over there. So I am not sure what to think about this, as we are starting to hear more and more things related to COVID. Meanwhile, doctors are trying to figure out what's causing a mysterious uptick in liver illness among kids in Europe and the U.S. The Brits are monitoring 74 cases of kids showing hepatitis symptoms, including an inflamed liver. Stateside, 9 identical cases have been reported, but strangely, they are all localized to Alabama so far, and all were 6 years old and younger. 2 cases required liver transplants. Now, think about that real quick. All of a sudden, we're talking about 6-year-olds and younger requiring a liver transplant. I mean, something that's almost kind of like totally unheard of when you really start thinking about it. But it's just one of those things on what is this new illness that is happening out there, because people definitely want to know.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, at least 94 people who either attended or worked at a high school in New Jersey have since developed brain tumors, and they are working with the school district to determine why. As the New York Post reports, a man named Al Lupiano was first diagnosed with brain tumor back in the late 90s, but in recent years, both his sister and wife have received similar diagnoses. All have connection to the Colonia High School in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Since then, dozens of others have come forward with similar diagnoses. Testing started on April the 9th and measured radiation levels and to hopefully identify if there's any harmful sources. Think about that. All of a sudden, you found out that you work with some people, and that those people that you used to work with, all of a sudden now things have taken a turn. And as we discussed this, and all of a sudden you find out that there are some similarities, but it's related mostly to all of a sudden brain tumors. I mean, that's not something that you really want diagnosis wise, but just think about how the oddity of that actually is. Anyways, happy hour snack time. A kindergartner in Michigan reportedly brought in a pre-mixed margarita bottle to school for snack time and managed to serve it to other kids in class in little Dixie cups. One kid reported 4 or 5 sips that left her feeling a little woozy, a little dizzy, Fox Detroit reports. No word if there will be a punishment to the kid who brought it in or his parents or what will happen. I mean, think about it. I mean, how the hell did the kid get the bottle into the school? I mean, the kid got the bottle into the school. That's number one. All of a sudden, number two, how the hell did he get it outside of his parents' liquor cabinet? If they had a liquor cabinet, that's the other portion. I mean, that makes it a very interesting conversation as you start thinking about it because, whoa, what the hell just happened there? All of a sudden, you're able to sneak out one of these things, and now there's some questions to be had right away. Anyways, I think it's time to bring in Johnny Smalls. Let him tell us what is going on inside of the Market Beat.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Monday, April 18th, 2022. Volatility continued on Wall Street Thursday with the major indices reversing the previous day's gains after another indication of inflation hit the market. Import prices rose at 2.6% month over month, and that exceeded the analysts' estimates, almost doubling from the previous month. The data, as a leading indicator of the economy, points to higher prices for consumers despite the expectation of aggressive FOMC policy action. The risk for the market this week will be higher earnings. The banks kicked off the earnings season this week, and so far the news is lackluster at best. If the market cannot renew the bullish spirit by the end of the week, it could spell doom for the market. As it stands, the next target for the index is lower and not higher, and it could move below the recent lows if the earnings news worsens. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, thank you, Johnny Smalls, for letting us know what exactly is going on there, because that's always important information to be able to share. Anyways, a Kentucky man has won $450,000 in a lawsuit against his company after his manager threw a birthday party for him despite his insistence that the company not make a big deal about it. The man suffered from panic attacks, and he feared being the focus of attention would trigger such attack. So ahead of his birthday, he told his boss not to roll the cake and candles. The party happened anyways, and not only did the guy have a panic attack, it caused him to hide in his car, but he was fired just a few days later. The employer Gravity Diagnostics is appealing the verdict. So hold on. So the guy tells you, hey, I don't want to be the center of attention on something. And all of a sudden you decide to move forward with it. And all of a sudden the dude sues you as the company. And he wins. And then all of a sudden you're going to appeal even though he asked you ahead of time not to do it. What an interesting twist of things as we are talking. Anyways, avian flu, yes, we need to talk about it. Bird flu is causing the rising prices in eggs, bird meat prices. The price of eggs have soared in the recent weeks. In part is because of the huge bird flu wave. Mike Bowers has more information.
The flu has infected nearly 27 million chickens and turkeys in the U.S., forcing many farmers to depopulate or destroy their animals to prevent a further spread. Tracy Thomasek with the Texas Farm Bureau says,
what we're doing is increasing our biosecurity measures, being vigilant, even more cautious than normal.
According to the USDA, the price of a dozen eggs in November hovered around $1. Right now, that price is $2.95 and rising. In addition to higher prices for a carton of a dozen eggs, consumers will see higher prices for all baked goods and a wide variety of processed foods from cupcakes to salad dressings. I'm Mike Bauer.
Well, come on and continue to give me the good news here. I mean, what the hell? There you go. Some information going on there for sure as we are talking. Anyway, city health officials encourage COVID testing after the holiday gathering in New York. City health officials encouraging New Yorkers to COVID test after the weekend of holiday gathering. Many New Yorkers say that the spike of COVID cases in COVID cases, but don't want a mask mandate to be put back in place.
I'm afraid they're going to do too much. It's not cases, it's hospitalizations and deaths. And the state has had 2 years and done an excellent job, I think, boosting the healthcare system. And that's what I hope they stick to, not a random statistic.
Okay, City Health Commissioner Dr. Ashwin Vasan says that there's plenty of places across the 5 bureaus to get tested today. He says that anyone who attended a holiday gathering or went to church is at risk of contracting COVID. On Good Friday, the governor's office announced that the 7-day average positivity rate in New York State is at nearly 5%. That's higher than it has been in quite some time. So some things to think about. So hold on real quick. So if you hung out yesterday and went somewhere and you went to church or you did a family gathering or you did a friend gathering or whatever freaking kind of gathering you want to talk about, you're saying you should go today to get the test? Because I thought, what happened to the 2 to 3 day scenario? I mean, depending on who you talk to, it's 2 to 3 days. Some people say 5. So if you go test today, wouldn't that be a little bit too soon? I mean, I'm just asking, not asking for a friend. I'm asking for myself because I definitely need to have a better understanding of it.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Hey, I'm just asking the question here. Anyways, thief targets those selling PlayStation units on social media. A thief has been targeting the people who sell their PlayStation units all over social media. These are expensive items. Let's just be realistic. So let's talk about this a little bit. Let's see what Noam Layden has to say.
Cops say the man they're looking for searches through online marketplaces looking for things like PlayStation units and expensive jewelry. He then schedules a meetup to buy the items, only to rob the would-be sellers at gunpoint. Police say he's carried out his scheme at least 6 times in the last month. The NYPD has pretty good surveillance camera pictures of the wanted man who has an Air Jordan tattoo on his neck. Noam Layden, NBC News Radio, New York.
So hold on. So you're meeting up with someone to sell a PlayStation, which I don't understand. Number one, why you want to get rid of that thing. But number two, let's talk about this. So 6 times this guy has done this. And I mean, you can't find a guy that has an Air Jordan tattoo on his neck. I mean, is that something that's that popular? Because I just really didn't think that it was. But it does seem like that is a thing. I mean, think about that for a moment. If you can't find that guy, just something to think about. Anyways, let's continue talking. Metadata Center giving over $100,000 to local communities. So let's see. In Altoona, Iowa, over $100,000 is being given away to the Meta Central Iowa communities. Paul Rubidoux has more details about what's going on.
Meta is announcing they're giving over $60,000 to the Bondurant community. $40,000 of the funding will be to enhance educational technology in the school district, and $20,000 is going to the community library. The company that owns Facebook is also giving $14,000 to Pleasant Hill to help the city to start using smart park technology, and more than $7,000 to Mitchellville to improve the Mitchellville City Park. I'm Paul Rubidoux.
Thank you, Paul Rubidoux, for that one, letting us know what is going on there. So let's do this one real quick. Let's do this before we vanish off. Target's recycling old car seats. Yes, if you got your kids' old car seat collecting dust at home, Here's a chance to get rid of them and save some money. Natalie Rodriguez explains.
If you didn't know, Target has a car seat trade-in program, and the event is back. Target is offering coupons for people who bring in their old car seats to recycle. From today through the end of the month, you can bring in your old, expired, or damaged car seat and redeem a coupon on the Target app or online for 20% off one car seat, stroller, or select baby gear. The coupon can be redeemed through May 14th. Natalie Rodriguez, Miami.
Okay, there you go. There's your plug for Target as we are talking real quick. Anyways, it is 30 minutes past the top of the hour, and I think it is time to do that thing that we do that is called the main story. So let's do that.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, there you go. We are here, main story time. Let's hang, bang, do whatever it is that we want to talk about and all that kind of stuff. So here you go, what to talk about on a Monday. You know, you go through these whole scenarios from time to time where you do come in, have the conversations that you want to have with the people as you walk in through the door of the building, perhaps of where you work. But it's sometimes you have to be prepared to start talking. You have to be prepared to start going through that whole conversation piece, because at some point somebody's going to expect you to talk. It's just the way that it goes. So it's Monday. It's the holiday weekend that you just came out of. All of a sudden you're back. What do you talk about? You know, because you have the people that are just came back and, you know, they're talking about how he has risen. You're talking about other people of all these other things that they got to do over their weekend. So what is your default to? What is your follow-up on when somebody has these glamorous weekends of the things that they do? What do you come back and say? What do you come back and talk about? Because here's the thing. It is always that focal point of trying to capture people's attention. Because, listen, I want to get together. I want to talk about the ball game. I want to talk about the MMA fight that occurred. I want to talk about what happened with my family. I want to talk about this. But what is the attention gathering scenario that you do and you start talking about on a Monday? Now, let's be realistic. If we go back several years, the default to do this was all of a sudden, let me show you a video of something that we found, that's something that somebody did wrong, and let's blame and shame and show you this, and this will be our cosmic conversation for today. This will be our conversation to talk about of, hey, listen, Bobby Joe from down the hallway fell off a ladder. We have it on video. Let's show that, and boom, there you go. Bobby Brown over here actually backed a truck into the building. I have a video of that. Let me show you that. And those were some of the defaults of what to talk about. Those were some of the default options of the things that we were doing back in the day. It was just really the easiest way. And the reason that we did that was because it would change some of the conversation. It would change the way that people were looking at some of the aspects of the things that are going on. So now that we know that that was probably not the best idea of the things to do, what do you do now? What do you do to be able to bring people together, to start having the conversations, to change a little bit more about the things that are going on at work, to talk a little bit more about the things that might be deemed important? How do you go about doing this? Because that's where it gets a little bit weird. Because sometimes we have to use that whole methodology of getting that refocus to occur the moment that we do come back on a Monday, or the first day of the week, wherever you're employed at. Now, keep in mind, I am aware that there are some locations that never shut down, so this becomes a little bit more of a difficult target. But how do you plan for some of these things? I mean, there are safety talks, there are toolbox talks, there are all these things that are available for you. And don't worry, this is not a service plug all of a sudden of, hey, this service is the service that you need to be using. But these are some of these things that you need to start thinking about of, what do you use? What do you comment on? And it's not the book clubs of the world. It's not these other things. What do you bring up for all of a sudden these conversations to change and go, okay, this is what our focal point is going to be going forward. This is how we are going to move. I'm just asking, because it becomes so difficult at times to sit here and go, I don't know what to talk about on a Friday. I don't know what to talk about on a Monday. Matter of fact, now that I think about it, I don't even know what to talk about any day of the week. And I don't I don't think you have to have a strategy or a plan for everything worked out ahead of time, because sometimes you need to change these things as they're going on in real time. But what do you do when you come back from 2 days off? How do you get your employees, team members, work crew engaged? And listen, I can sit here and give you ideas. I can sit here and talk about some things that I think that are great, but it's going to vary significantly based on your work environment. Just because something is good for me does not necessarily mean that it's good for you, and vice versa. But you already know that. I already know that. So what do you think will be in the best interest of what you have going on inside of your organization? Just a thought. So if you don't have things that are planned out, and if you don't already know what to talk about on a Monday, how do you engage them? How do you engage the group to focus on what is going on there in the now? Ideas are always great in regards of coming up with some of these things, but what do you do in particular? Maybe that's something to think about today. And if you don't have a plan, maybe that's where you start. You start developing a plan of maybe these are the engagement cycles of what should be done. I will tell you what I would do, or what I used to do is better saying, is that I would bring in clips of things that were eventful and impactful over the weekend. Yes, and I'm talking about hardcore videotape style. I would bring those in as recorded and show certain portions and go, look how important this is to what we are doing at the time. So that is something of what's going on, because what I would really focus on some of those video clips was more along the lines on how the teams gelled and how that gel actually played a big factor. But that was my doing. That was how I did it. What would you do to actually make sure that it works inside of your organization within your team? Something to think about today. But then again, what do I know? Just a guy behind a microphone. No, seriously, I am. I'm just here sitting behind a microphone.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Well, you might be like me and heard all these terms and were not 100% sure on what they meant. Things is mining, blockchain, the Internet of Things. Well, I will tell you, we here at Safety FM have partnered up with a company that will explain this to you and will also have conversations to inform you on how you might have the potential of making passive income by being involved with this. All you need to do is go to safetyfm.com/iHub. They'll discuss blockchain. What exactly is mining? What is cryptocurrency? And what is the Internet of Things? To find out more information, go to safetyfm.com/iHub. That's safetyfm.com/iHub. And don't forget to mention that Jay Allen sent you.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio, take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
We go always a little bit longer when it comes to these EDMs, these techno beats. That's just the way that it goes. This is Duck Mal with Fragmented Memories. Boy, could we have a whole conversation about that? No, like seriously. We could get into some very interesting things if we started talking about fragmented memories. Anyways, currently 42 minutes past the top of the hour. That is Fragmented Memories, available on Spotify and iTunes. For your listening pleasure. For sure. That is no doubt about it. So there you go. Thank you to Duck Mal for allowing us to take a gander of right here on the Rated R Safety Show. Anyway, so there you go. Blah, 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 blah. Let's talk a little bit more. At the top of the hour, I will be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out. We will be doing the music world. We will be doing the music verse. We will be doing all that stuff that we do over there, so you don't have to worry about that. If you want to come out, hang out, and do the things together, you're more than welcome to. Anyway, so let me tell you real quick about the most important thing that I will tell you at any point during my lifetime. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this real quick. Let me tell you about my friends at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Whether you have struggled with suicide yourself or have lost a loved one, know that you're not alone. Hear about personal experiences from people in your local communities whose lives have been impacted by suicide and depression. To find out more information, all you have to do is call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255, or text the word TALK to 741-741. Or you can go to their website at afsp.org. That is afsp.org. That will get you moving and grooving inside of that information, because that's always important to talk about. And the other portion is that if you don't think that you need this, you might be able to share this information with other people, or you can even figure out how you can make a difference in your local community with everything that is going on over there. So just some interesting things to be able to do if you're so inclined to do so. So there you go. That's what I got for you on that. Anyways, let's get back into the world of news and the things that are going on around here, because I think that that's important. Now there's truly an app for everything. So let's talk about this. With the return of concert season, Tinder has teamed up with live event producers to create Festival Mode, designed to help people to find new concert buddies. Tinder says that the new festival mode bridges the gap between online introductions and IRL, in real life, just in case, connections by allowing Tinder members to find fellow festival goers before the show. Live in Tinder explores festival mode, invites users to select which events they plan to go to this year. They can match with other attendees in the dating app as early as 1 month before the show. A separate festival goer space, meanwhile, is open to those who simply want to connect with other fans of the culture. Tinder stats show that 60% of singles report having become friends or more with people that go to music festivals or concerts. Well, of course, there's nothing like bonding over a shared interest like scorching temperatures, insect bites, extraordinarily expensive beer, lack of toilet facilities, overzealous security personnel. My problem has never been finding someone to go to a festival with. The problem is always finding them when it's over. So that's the thing. So here's the thing: would you really want to, number one, do the Tinder thing, where your sole purpose is meeting up to go to a festival? Because I think that would make it a little bit interesting for sure, as we are talking. Anyways, let's talk a little bit more about Corona update. So here we go. Pfizer could have an Omicron optimized, I can't even speak, vaccine ready by the fall. The company plans to finish work with a new version of its COVID-19 vaccine that can better protect against the Omicron variant while still being effective against known strains of the virus. Pfizer is also working on extended effectiveness of its COVID-19 vaccine to a year compared to the current shots that have been shown to wane down after about 6 months, which is actually a pretty long time compared to another Pfizer product, which I may or may not know anything about. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, you know what I'm talking about.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has granted emergency use authorization to the first COVID-19 breath test. Yes, the Inspect IR COVID breathalyzer, which is also the size of a piece of carry-on luggage, can be used in medical offices for mobile testing. The system separates and identifies chemical mixtures that detect a 5 compound associated with coronavirus. It can give results in less than 3 minutes, and if you're infected more than once, you'll make good get one hooked up into your car for the ignition. Oh, hold on. No, that's something entirely else that I'm thinking of. So sorry about the confusion there. Anyways, I think it's close enough for that time for us to have Johnny Smalls come back in here and give us the Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote has been submitted by Sasha. William James said, "If you can change your mind, you can change your life." What a great quote. And it's very true. If you're trying to make a change in your life, it has to start somewhere. You can say you're going to do something, but until you believe it in your own mind, it's not going to happen. My advice is to set the goal, make it specific, set a timeline and a total, then track your progress towards this goal on a regular basis. Once you change your mindset, you're well on your way to achieving your goal, but you still need to follow through to make it happen. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quote can be submitted for an upcoming program at motivationminute.org.
Your Wellness Minute is brought to you by AlasaMorgan.com. When was the last time you have been to a sauna? In addition to numerous health benefits that sauna provides, it does a very interesting thing with activating parasympathetic nervous system responsible for relaxation, and it has to do with heart rate variability. A higher HRV means you have more flexibility to deal with stressors. Now, we think of sauna as something that's very relaxing, but it's actually a major stressor for the body. A study found that when you get into a sauna, your heart rate goes up, and when you're out of the sauna, your heart rate drops even below to where it was before you got there. This significant correction in HRV majorly triggers parasympathetic nervous system, which causes a lasting relaxation and stress resilience. Now, it's important to note that sauna is not for everyone, and it's important to check with your doctor before committing to this practice. For additional information, check out alessamorgan.com.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, there you go. Some sauna functionality coming your way if that's important to you, for you to do so. Anyways, what do you think about it? Do you think that it would be something that you would want to use? I don't know. I asked the question. That's why I am sharing, That's how that goes over there. Anyways, let's talk about this. A big thumbs up to the Egyptian swimmer Omar Ghazi, who just broke the Guinness World Record of 7 years after losing his leg in a car accident. The 31-year-old set the marks of the longest distance swam underneath in one breath, 185 feet and 4 inches. There you go. And the longest distance swam underwater with fins at 25 or 251 feet. Just impressive. He admits that he has first got into swimming because he was very angry about losing his leg. Quote, I found a way to let my anger and frustration out, but it was also where I felt that I really free and capable. Now, Hegazi is the motivational speaker that has achieved several other athletic milestones, including a 700-kilometer cycling challenge. So there you go. Some stuff to talk about as you are hanging out with you right now. Anyways, let's talk about some things real quick. Let's talk about, did you know the Texas Rangers knew that they were adding one MLB's most feared hitters when they signed Corey Seager to a $325 million contract, and it seems that the LA Angels agree. With the bases loaded and one out, the fourth inning on Friday, the Angels chose to protect the 4-2 lead by intentionally walking the Rangers star shortstop with the bases loaded. How rare of the intentional walk with the bases loaded. It's happened exactly 3 times since 1950. Questionable decisions or not, it worked out with the Angels, who went on to win 9-6. So there you go. Anyways, let's talk about some other things real quick as we are hanging and banging this morning. Just real quick, for the sake of talking about this, let's talk about some things that happened back on this date real quick. And if we're taking a look around, let's take a gander. Back on this date, back in, let's see, do we want to go that far? Let's go to 1994. President Nixon, yes, Nixon suffers a stroke, and he would die 4 days later. That happened on this day back in 1994. Crazy on how things have happened since then, huh? Well, when you start thinking about the Watergate thing before, you get to the 1994 death of it, wow, just some stuff. And then everything that has occurred since then, boy. Anyways, let's talk about some birthdays that are going on today. Britt Robertson turns 32. Rosie Huntington Whitley turns 35. America Ferrera turns 38. Miguel Cabrera turns 39. Kourtney Kardashian, 43. Melissa Joan Hart turns 46. David Tennant turns 51. Conan O'Brien, 59. Jeff Dunham turns 60. Kenny Ortega, he turned 72 today. James Wood, 75. And Haley Mills turns 76. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate today, let's talk about some of this. It's National Animal Cracker Day, National Columnist Day, and National Lineman Appreciation Day. For some reason, I thought there was another one that was a pretty interesting one. Yeah, Adult Autism Awareness Day, to create awareness of the adult autism community, to demonstrate the importance of transition in planning, promote inclusiveness and through education, and improve social and employment outcomes for adults with autism. Yeah, that's all going on today. Just in case if you were looking for one. Some things there to talk about real quick. Anyways, I didn't talk about the lottery now that I think about it, because there was a big potty pot going on over there. A winning Mega Million ticket for Friday's night's drawing was sold in Tennessee. The winner has the option of the $20 million jackpot or the $12.1 million cash payout. Tuesday's drawing will be for $20 million or an $11.9 million cash payout. And then no winner for Saturday night's Powerball drawing. Tonight's drawing will be for $348 million jackpot or a $209 million cash payout. So there you go. Some things to think about as we are talking. So there you go. Some stuff going on there for sure. Anyways, let's jump back and forth. Let's see. What else do we have going on? Do we have anything else? Let's talk about this. I know it's not the most popular thing, but 3 mass shootings rocked the U.S. on Easter weekend. 2 people are dead and more than a dozen are injured after 3 shootings over Easter weekend. Michael Kastner has more information.
2 17-year-old boys were killed and 8 other people were wounded when shootings started during a party at a short-term rental in Pittsburgh early Sunday. Police say there were at least 50 shots fired when a fight turned into a shooting. 2 shootings in South Carolina left another 18 people wounded. 9 people were injured in a shooting at a nightclub about 80 miles west of Charleston early Sunday morning. That happened just a few hours after 9 people were wounded at a shooting at a shopping mall in Columbia, the South Carolina state capital. I'm Michael Kastner.
I mean, what is going on over there? I mean, that's a lot of shootings going on in a very, very, very short period of time. Let's just be realistic as we are talking. So let's continue real quick. It is 56 minutes past the top of the hour. I will be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me as we are doing the stuff that we are doing. Anyways, if you need a random joke for today, I have one of those for you. Sometimes to stop eating all the chocolate, one must first eat all the chocolate. Think about that for a moment. Okay, if you need a phone starter for today, try this one. What do you refuse to pay for even though everyone else does? Lunch every day, expensive kid shoes, food delivery, K-cups, just some things that come to mind. If you need a question for the water cooler, you can try this one. When a study looked at things that most often cause arguments in the car, this came in at number 1. What is it? Oh, come on. I think this is a give me. This is a give me when you start thinking about it. Of course, what came in at number 1 is actually using your cell phone while you're driving. That's what came in at number 1. So think about this real quick. You're arguing with someone who has a cell phone in their hand, and you're contemplating about, hey, what is going on? Why are you using your phone as you are driving? And that you're trying to get them to avoid, but you're talking about it anyways. A lot of things to think about. Anyways, let me give you some whack facts real quick. Let me give you these. Pringles are not actually potato chips. Showering has been shown to spark creativity. Space smells like a seared steak, according to those who know. Human lips are hundreds of times more sensitive than the tips of your fingers. Right-handed people chew most of their food on the right side of their mouth, where left-handed people do it so on the left. By the end of a person's life, they can recall on average around 150 trillion pieces of information. Think about that. Anyways, that's going to wrap up our time here on the Rated R Safety Show. Thanks for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Without you, we cannot do what we do around here. I mean, you are the best part of the radio station, the both FM stations that we have going on here. Let's just be realistic. Anyways, if I can leave you with a thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. Never stop learning, because life never stops teaching. Boy, does that really, if you think about it, you would be amazed on the things that you can learn if you really just focus on it. No, seriously. I mean, sometimes some of the research and studying that I get to do, I'm always amazed on the things that I'm able to find. Anyways, thank you for hanging out. I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.